Jackson has this one teed up, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really sudden after the first play picked off. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. If they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. From midfield now, Burrow flushed out right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
On 4th down, Drew Chrisman on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
Well, that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate. That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing is Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Play action. It's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Fielded at the 33. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Burrow. And some room to run now. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. After the pick 6, here's Burrow again. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now they go play action now. Burrow. That's caught by the tight end, Drew Sample. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And once again, they stop him behind the line. Great job by this Ravens defense.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
They go play action with Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
There are so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession, as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Jackson on the give to Dobbins, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he gets the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 24. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more. This time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Jackson completes it to Aguilar. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
One more time with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Ravens go up by 2 touchdowns. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Following Throwing the incomplete pass. Here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Burrow will throw. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. We don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. Jackson now. Now he steps away. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And this is incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. And Jackson throwing once more. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Being chased out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Let's roll.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
blocker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On first and 10, Joe Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Fourth down, out comes the punter, Drew Chrisman. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for Cincinnati. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Bengals with work to do in this third quarter, but they'll get the football first as we are back underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. For the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A three-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no three-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Meanwhile, and a loose football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And they had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper.
When teams have a tough time running the ball, as this one has throughout this game, it's so easy to just say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find ways to run the ball better as the game goes on.
Jackson going to hold on to it again. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down. Now it's Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 17-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
Nice job there utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. They'll go again with Dobbins. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with third and 11 coming up. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on third and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. After that last sequence, they're sitting pretty comfortably. They force the fumble, get the field goal, and expand on that lead here in the second half.
And don't expect them to rest on their laurels after that kick either. They'll keep their effort up until the final whistle. They don't consider any lead safe.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Bengals set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Jackson, options out left. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. And we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass. And sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5.
This offense is starting to get into rhythm. A nice quick throw there on target, able to pick up another first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Burrow looking to pass. He's got Smith here. And he goes out right around the 39. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's second down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
From the 39, Burrow out of his hands quickly to Higgins. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game. Defensively, they bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Now they go play action now. Burrow. The pass to Boyd, and he brings it in on the crossing route. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
To the air again, Burrow. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 36 yards on the play.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Mixon. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Second down and goal. Burrow buying time to his left. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now it's third and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Irv Smith Jr., a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Bengals are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another run here with Dobbins. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down. To throw is Jackson. He finds his man, complete. That's Flowers. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe. On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Bengals will get the football back. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Now Burrow. That's complete to Chase. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Connecting with Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. Throwing, Burrow. Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up second down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right inside in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
To throw, Burrow. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up third down.
That's pretty difficult to summon up offense in a 2-minute drill when your guys have struggled to put points on the board all.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Burrow. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They give him a gain of 38. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
A final shot now for Burrow. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, it's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan of how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. Well, this was a good one. Excitement all the way to the end. You had the points, and then they were hoping for the miracle here on the onside kick. Couldn't get it recovered, and that was your ball game.
And I'm of the opinion that anytime you actually do recover an onside kick, it almost is a miracle. It takes so many things going right to make it happen. It didn't in this case, and they walk off a victor.